Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make Swiss meringue buttercream, although I do prefer ganache for decorating and masking my cakes, but sometimes my recipe, as does maybe yours, calls for something that it's not made of chocolate, and in this case I use Swiss meringue buttercream. Of all buttercreams I've tasted, this one tastes the best in my opinion, and I've also reduced some amount of sugar inside, so it's not too sweet, and also I reduced the amount of butter inside so that the flavor is more balanced in my opinion, of course. And I'm gonna show you how to make it. And all we need for this Swiss meringue buttercream is our egg whites, some sugar, it's caustic sugar, regular sugar, and some butter. If you can, just buy butter that's not that yellow color, because your buttercream may end up a little bit yellowish. But I do have a trick, it's not mine, it's from internet, how to get that white color in the end. And that's all we need, but you can also add some salt just to balance the flavor. Your buttercream won't be salty, but you have to put in unsalted butter, of course. And you can add some vanilla extract or any other taste you like, and it's good to have a cream of tartar or Klinc kamen in Slovenian language to add to your egg whites, so they mix more into more fluffy and more stiff stage. And that is all. We're going to use a bain-marie, that's water bath, that's a Swiss way to do it. We are just going to put our sugar into egg whites and gonna put it onto water bath and just mix it so the heat distributes evenly, and then we're gonna heat up our egg whites till all the sugar dissolves, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. First, make sure your water is boiling. Afterwards, just turn it to a low, so it's just simmering. You don't want it to boil too vigorously, and you always have to be careful so that that bowl with your egg whites doesn't touch the water inside. Otherwise, you may cook your egg whites. And for this recipe, you don't need pasteurized egg whites. You just take regular eggs and just crack it, and be very careful that you don't put any egg yolks into your egg whites. If you have just a small amount of egg yolks in your egg whites, you probably won't be able to mix your egg whites to a stiff stage. So my water is boiling. I'm gonna add sugar to my egg whites. I have here 120 grams of egg whites and 200 grams of sugar. I'm gonna give you the cups and pounds also, and I'm gonna add later on 170 grams of butter. You don't have to worry about the temperature of your egg whites. After all the sugar is melted, it has already reached the right temperature. So it's pasteurized and safe to use. There is some sugar on the bowl, on the sides of the bowl. Make sure you scrape it down. You can also use spatula. you don't want any small pieces of sugar left in your egg whites. Otherwise, your buttercream won't be that silky. There will be small pieces that you will drag on your cake and make indentations. So it has to be very smooth. And the way you try it, you just take egg whites into your hands and do this. If you feel any sugar on your hands, it's not ready. And you feel? I feel sugar on my hands, so it's not ready. Make sure you don't cook your egg whites. Stir it. Try. There are still small pieces inside. If it happens that you cook your egg whites, that you're not careful enough and you cook your egg whites, you can just sift this mixture and it will be okay. Okay, I don't feel any sugar left. So I don't feel any parts of the sugar inside my egg whites. So now I'm gonna place them into a stand mixer. Use a whisk attachment and add a little bit of cream of tartar, just a very small amount. I think this is the smallest amount of my egg whites and my Swiss meringue buttercream that I can make in this stand mixer. It's even better if you have double batch, but today I'm just going to show you how to do it. So the double batch of this size should be enough to just comfortably decorate one medium size cake or a little larger cake. Now just turn on the mixer on a full speed, or maybe almost full speed, and just leave it to mix completely. From time to time, just scrape the sides, mix it up a little bit so it's even all over, especially if your mixer doesn't reach all the sides and on the bottom like mine. I'll show you when it's done. Just to show you, it has stiff peaks. If you are tempted to turn off the mixer before it reaches that stage, it's better to over whip them than to under whip them. So I was mixing it for 15 minutes, I think. So you cannot overdo it. This is what we are looking for. If you have trouble reaching that stage, that stiffness, it probably means you have some fat inside of your egg whites. Either you put a tiny bit of egg yolks in it, or you have a greasy bowl where you mix it. So before you put your egg whites into your dish, into your bowl, make sure it's very clean. It doesn't have any fat inside. You can also clean it with a few drops of vinegar or lemon juice. And after we reach this stage, we have to cool it down. It's a little bit warm. Some people mix it till it reaches room temperature, but we have another way to do it. It's faster. This is from Sugar Geek Show trick, and I like it, from this Merrick. Just put the mixture on the tray. Just scrape it all out. You can wash the bowl, or you don't have to, as you wish. Then you spread it out a little bit so it can get cold, cooler actually, room temperature faster. Now I'm gonna put it into the fridge for 15 minutes. After your meringue is cooled, we're gonna add the butter, but this one is a little bit too soft, and we don't want to end up with a soupy buttercream, so I'm gonna put it in the fridge for a few minutes. My meringue has been in the fridge for 15 minutes. Now just put it back into your bowl. Some people at this stage change the attachment to the pedal attachment, but I will stick to my whisk at this point, and I will switch it later on. I'll tell you why. Now just mix. I'll just turn it off for a second. I have my butter here, and I will just put in small pieces of butter at once so it can mix properly. It's a little bit too cold at this moment. No, it's okay. Scrape the sides if you need to. At this stage it might look a little bit curled, but that's okay, you just mix. Alright, now I'm gonna add salt and some vanilla. Use clear vanilla extract if you don't want any dots of vanilla inside. And because my I'm just gonna show you like this. It looks like this. And because of my a little bit yellowish color, I will add one tiny drop, not even a drop, I'll use a tool, one small amount of purple. And this purple should make maybe a little more. Don't overdo it. It's quickly too much. And this purple should make our yellowish buttercream white. Now we have a white color, as you can see. It's not that brown anymore, but you can also add white food color. Just make sure it's a gel or paste color. You don't want to add too much water inside. And now I'm gonna just switch to pedal attachment because I want to knock out all the air bubbles, incorporate it, so our buttercream will be more smooth. Our buttercream is ready. It's very silky and very smooth. It's a small batch. It's very smooth and very tasty. So you should beat and mix your buttercream until you don't feel like you're eating butter. In my case, I have a small amount of butter comparing to some other recipes, so you should achieve that quickly. And the other thing I should mention, if this cream at the stage when you're mixing it with your butter gets too hard, that means that your meringue was too cold to start with. In this case, you can just take 2 spoons in this recipe for this batch. 2 spoons of this cream, you put it in a bowl and put it in a microwave to melt it. Not completely melt it, but so it's watery, so it's runny, and then you add it inside and mix it again. So this melted cream will help to dissolve and to heat up, to warm up your buttercream, so it should all come together very nicely. And if it's too watery, too runny, too soupy, then you can put the whole thing into your fridge for 15, maybe half an hour, 50 minutes, half an hour, and then mix it again. If it doesn't come to a creamy stage, that probably means that you didn't whip your egg whites enough. So you really have to make your egg whites very stiff before you start adding in the butter. And be careful with the consistency of your butter. It shouldn't be too warm to melt it. In this case, you can also end up with a soupy looking cream, but you can fix it. If your meringue is mixed enough, you can always fix your buttercream, either with warming it up or with cooling it. So this is it. I think it's a foolproof method, recipe. So there's a couple of things that you have to be careful, and I'm sure you are going to do it perfectly. So if we repeat, first of all, make sure there are no egg yolks in your egg whites, and that your bowl is completely fat-free. Clean it up with lemon juice or with a little bit of vinegar. So make sure you whip your egg whites completely. Scrape the bottom and the sides if you need to, so it's all incorporated and all in a stiff stage. It will take you probably with a stand mixer 15 to 20 minutes to mix your egg whites. If you have a hand mixer, it will take longer time, of course. And then put it in the fridge, spread it out, your meringue, spread it out on the baking plate, and put it in the fridge for 15 minutes so it cools down. And then add your butter. Make sure it's room temperature, but you don't want it to be too soft. You can put it in the fridge like I did for 5 minutes if it's too soft, or even leave it out for a longer time if you think it's too hard. And then that's it. Then you just mix with the whisk attachment until all the butter is fluffy and all the cream is fluffy enough. Add the salt and vanilla extract and some violet color, some purple color to make your cream more white, and that's it. After everything, if you want a smooth finish on your cakes for masking, knock out all the air bubbles with a pedal attachment and you are all set. This cream, the Swiss Meringue Buttercream, is great to use in a hot weather. It doesn't melt that quickly, although it does melt quicker than a ganache. And the way you can help, if you feel that your weather is too hot where you live, you can add half amount of butter and half amount of vegetable fat like Crisco. It doesn't taste that good. It's white color, that's important, but it should stabilize your Swiss Meringue Buttercream more, so it's more stable, doesn't melt that quickly. And that's it. You can of course color your buttercream with gel colors in any color you want. If you are aiming for something more dark color, like dark red or dark black, color it one day before and put it in the fridge, because it develops more color after you put it in the fridge for 1 day, and you'll see the next day your color will be more bright, more intense. That's all for me. That's all for me for today, guys. I wish you all the best. Christmas is coming. I will make another video to wish you all the best. Till then, thank you for being with me, and I wish you all the best. Don't forget.